If you want to learn how to do 3D plans in Blender, then this is the place for you. In this video, I will show you how to draw a floor plan from any image. This will be a step-by-step tutorial. So like the video, subscribe, get some tea, and let us start. In a new Blender file, select all objects in the scene with your mouse and hit X to delete it. Then you need a plan, an image, or a DXF file. It doesn't matter. The process is the same. I will leave the one I use down in the description if you want to follow along. You can now drag the image from the folder to Blender. After that, we need to reset both the position and rotation in it. And for that, use the shortcuts Alt-R to reset rotation and Alt-G to reset the position to world center. You can also edit the image opacity from the settings on the right side, so maybe give it a 0.75% value for the opacity. The next thing we need to fix is the scale. The numbers on the plan can go with imperial or metric system, and you can change the unit in Blender for both systems. I myself go with only metric numbers, thus usually fix the scale depending on universal norms. For example, the door width is generally between 90 and 100 centimeters. The steps width for the staircase are 30, so you need to choose one known factor and scale accordingly. So I will add a 1 by 1 meter plane, then scale the door to match its width. To do that, place the plane at the door corner, hold Shift, and with your right mouse button, move the cursor to that same corner. Then switch the pivot point's transform from the top to 3D cursor. This way, we scale the image from that corner to match the 1 meter on the plane. Once you're done, you can delete the plane. And to check even more, use the measuring tool from the left bar on the door and stair area. To start drawing the walls, I will recommend locking the image movement. We do that from the restriction toggle select option, so add it to the layers and turn it off for the image. You can start drawing from any area on this image, top or bottom. It all end up together, and there's two main ways to do that. Either draw with surface or with lines. Surface is the method I go by, and it's simply adding a plane and tracing it along the image walls. The line method is just a vertex traced along the same walls. Then at the end, you add thickness to it, but that can generate problems at the end. So stick with the surface one, unless you're that guy.
I want problems, always!
Let's start from this corner at the top. Add a plane, then scale it to fit the wall. You can use the measuring tool to get the width. For this, it's 30, and we can adjust it if we want in edit mode. So once you have your plane in the corner, hit Tab for edit mode. Make sure you're on vertices selection by hitting 1, then adjust the plane to fit the corner if needed. The two operations we need next are simple. Extend the wall with extrude, shortcut for it is E, and jump the windows and doors area with Shift D to copy the selected vertices. You will get it, since we will repeat that a lot. With those two vertices selected, hit E to extrude, press X or Y to choose an axis to extend along, then move it with your mouse. If the extrude operation stopped, you can continue by pressing G and moving the vertices up until you're done with the wall you're drawing. Now that we reached a window, we can hit Shift D to copy the two vertices past the window's area, then continue again with extrusion. And that's the main method here. You extrude along the wall. If you hit a corner, you change axis. If you reached a door or window, you jump over it with Shift D. A tip while moving vertices or edges, You can hold Shift to make the movement more slow and precise to line with the wall's border. I won't comment much on the repeated process unless something needs mentioning. Here in this wall, we have an interior wall connected with it, so we need to extrude accordingly. Say in this bottom part, we went all the way down with one extrude and did not align it with the interior wall, we can, once we're done, go back to the part we extruded and cut it with Ctrl R, then align the cuts with the G key to continue the inner wall. In this part, we have two walls we need to connect, so we need something called bridge. But first, the wall on the right is an exterior wall with bigger width, and a cut is needed to match it with the inner wall while keeping it editable. To do that, enable the Snap tool on vertices. Hit Ctrl R to add a cut. Then, while moving it, align it with the inner wall using your mouse. After that, we can switch to edge selection by hitting 2 at the top of your keyboard, then select the edges on both sides, and with the right mouse button, choose Bridge Edge Loops. Now that we're done with the drawing part, let's copy this mesh we made to the left, then in edit mode, and while on vertices selection, hit A to select all, then hit M for the merge command and choose by distance. This way you can delete any overlap vertices that you might have made while working. It's just for checking, and since we have 0 vertices removed, we are good to go. After that, to extrude that wall and while everything's still selected, hit E and move up on the Z-axis. A height of 2.7 meters should be the norm, so go with it. Next thing we need to do is filling the gaps, and by gaps, I mean the doors and windows. There's an add-on in Blender called Archimesh, which can help us doing many architecture elements with ease. So go to the Edit, Preferences, then in the Add-on section, locate the Archimesh add-on and enable it. You will have it in the Add menu and also in the sidebar along its settings. So let's do this door area first. Place the cursor nearby, cause the elements will be added on it, then hit the door button. The door we added have mesh parts, an empty to move all of the parts, and a wireframe cube around it. The last one is to cut the walls done by the same add-on. Or, if you want to add Boolean, this one can help you cutting the area around the door. Once you place the door, you can select the frame part in it to open the door parameters. There, you can change the model, the side in which it opens, and many other things which can take time to go through, so experiment with it in your free time. For us, let's keep it on the default option with a bit of fix on the width numbers, increase it to fit the door area, and leave the height on 2.1 meters. Once we're done with the first door, we need to cut the wall above it to close the area over the door, and that apply to windows too, so we will make it on the same height, 2.1 meters, and I will select all the mesh to cut it on that level. To cut the entire mesh, I will go with the bisect tool, select it from the left tools bar. We also need to select all in edit mode, so hit A to highlight all vertices, then cut it horizontally. You can cut in any direction you want, cause while the cut point's still selected, you can just hit S to scale them on the Z-axis by 0 value. Again, hit S, then Z, then 0. This will level any set of vertices on the same height. We can after that move it with the snap to the door's border. To fill the gaps above the 2.1 meters height, we need to choose face selection in edit mode, select any 2 opposite faces, and with the right mouse button, choose bridge faces. It's the same as the one we used in bridge edge loops, and we need to do that above all doors and windows. To copy the door around, we can first put it in a new collection to keep things organized, then select the door from the layers or from the viewport directly, and hit Shift-D to copy it. Keep in mind, you need to select all parts in the door with the empty, so you don't generate any unwanted problems. We have another 5 doors to fill, might need to fix the width and rotation in some of them. You can check with the drawing image for the door opening direction. Again, I won't be commenting on repetitive process like placing the doors cause it's the same. You need to keep getting faster in doing it by doing it a lot. So have fun. Now that we're done with the doors, let's move on to the windows part. Select any area that need a window. Say this one in the front. You could also add a new collection for the windows. Then with the Add menu, go with the rail window. I will align the top of the windows with the doors, as in 2.1 meters height. You can also use the measuring tool to fix its width from the parameters, and it's the same as the door options. So select the window's frame to open the settings on the sidebar, and go through them if you want. After placing the rail window, we need to cut below it, then bridge the gaps from top and bottom. That's one rail window. We need another for the bathroom area. That one will be smaller and opens to one side. So play with the settings as you like, then place it in the right area. The back area in the house will have another type for windows, the panel 1, and it's all the same like the first one. Place it right and fill the gaps above it with the bridge command, then copy it around to finish the job. For the garage door, I will import it as an object to the scene. This one is from the kit library, which is free. Link to it is down in the description if you want to give it a try, or you can model it as a line and give it a thickness. It's all the same. I will leave the staircase part as a homework. You will have many options to do that. The same add-on we used have a stairs option. You can also do it manually by modeling it, or use an object then edit it to fit the area. All up to you. And that's all for this video. Like and share to keep the fun around, and comment down below if you want us to continue on this with materials and furniture. So until then, stay sharp. Goodbye.